Welcome back. It's been a busy week, or there will be a busy week ahead for the royal family. Every week's a busy week, isn't it? A second coronation celebration is coming up in Scotland. There's some Wimbledon action and a meeting with the US president on the cards.
Busy indeed. Nine Honey's royal reporter Natalie Oliveri has been busy as well and joins us now. Why is the King having a second coronation?
Well, it's tradition. The Queen had one back in 1953 in Scotland, and now King Charles is following suit. He's going to be in Edinburgh this week. It's part of a royal event called Royal Week. Every year, the monarch travels to Scotland for a week of events. This is part of it. King Charles and Queen Camilla will be taking part in a series of engagements this week. The main event will be happening on Wednesday, so that's going to be known as the second coronation. There's going to be a royal procession through the Royal Mile in Edinburgh. The Prince and Princess of Wales will be joining that as well. Thousands are expected to line the streets. They're then going to the St Giles Cathedral for a service of Thanksgiving. The King will be presented with the Crown of Scotland, which is actually the oldest crown jewels in Britain, even older than the ones that he used back in Westminster Abbey. And then there's going to be a big fly past. So lots of plans in place, lots of police deployed across the city as well, because we're hearing some protest groups are threatening to cause a bit of a fuss.
Not everyone is happy about it.
Not everyone, but it's going to be very spectacular. There's also going to be a garden party. Princess Anne's going to be there too. So lots of nice pictures we're expecting.
Prince William and Prince George, I wouldn't say enjoyed a day at the Ashes over the weekend because it wasn't the best result. But are we going to see them out and about at Wimbledon? I'm sure we'll see Kate.
I'm sure we're going to see Kate, yes. The Princess of Wales, she's patron of the All England Club, and she usually attends the women's finals, the men's finals, and also a match here and there. Prince George last year made his debut at Wimbledon, and we're hoping that maybe Princess Charlotte might attend this year. Certainly no word from the palace as yet, but look, Wimbledon is a big favourite for the royal family, and lots of royals take part in the event. And look, we saw Kate last week with Roger Federer doing a training match,
showing him up.
Yeah, looking at all the training that goes into being a ball boy and a ball girl. Lots of training there. So lots of excitement ahead of Wimbledon.
Yeah, excellent. The King is also meeting US President Joe Biden at Windsor Castle next week.
Yes.
Gee, you'd love to be a fly on the wall for that, wouldn't you? What's on the agenda?
Well, it's interesting. Buckingham Palace has announced this overnight, but they haven't yet said what's going to be taking place. Now, it's funny because the US President actually snubbed the King's coronation back in May. He sent the First Lady and his granddaughter instead. So this is the first time King Charles will be meeting Joe Biden as really King since the coronation. He did attend the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II in September, so they have met before. But look, this just follows a long tradition of US presidents and the royal family coming together. So yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Okay, we had that shocking news this time last week, about Fergie, Sarah Ferguson, and her breast cancer diagnosis. Do you have an update on how she's doing and recovering? Yeah,
so a friend now has spoken out saying that, look, the operation was far more intense than what the Duchess actually made out when she spoke about it on her podcast. The friend says that Fergie considers herself very lucky to be alive. The operation was around 8 hours and she was in intensive care for around 4 days. She had this procedure at the King Edward VII Hospital in London. She was then sent back home to Royal Lodge. She lives there with Prince Andrew, and that's where she's recovering. But look, Fergie spoke about her procedure, I guess, revealing that she was going to have a single mastectomy, speaking about it on her podcast. So everything went well. She believes the surgeons got all the cancer out, so hopefully she's on the road to recovery.
And her recovery has put plans to move Prince Andrew to Frogmore Cottage on hold.
Yes.
And they still live together?
Yes, so Prince Andrew and the Duchess have been living together. They divorced back in 1996, but they do still live together at the Royal Lodge on the Windsor estate. There has been talk about Prince Andrew being kicked out of the Royal Lodge into the smaller Frogmore Cottage. Now, that's where Prince Harry and Meghan used to live before they moved to America. Prince Harry and Meghan have now officially moved out. Buckingham Palace confirmed that just last week, but apparently plans for Andrew to move into that smaller house is now on hold because of Sarah Ferguson's recovery at the Royal Lodge. So we don't know when this is going to happen, if it's going to happen at all. But look, apparently her daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, are there by her side the whole time, trying to keep her well and looking after her.
Good to hear.
Is that a bit weird that they still live together?
Some say it's a little bit weird, Richard, but
Horses are horses and all of that.
With your ex.
I know.
Anyway.
Don't even think about it. Thank you very much, Natalie.
Thank you.
See you soon.